From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
All signs pointed to the one man who decided to go on an arson spree, setting fires to signs and damaging businesses. Tonight, the West Hazleton resident is in police custody. More on his destructive path through the city of Hazleton right now on News 13. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I'm Kristen Bazinski. 7 fires, 5 different locations, all in just 1 hour time. A West Hazleton man faces some serious charges after going on an arson spree around the city Monday morning. Police say 49-year-old Lawrence Ustinovsky purposely set multiple fires throughout the city and is facing arson charges tonight. The first fire was started in a vending machine right outside of the Hazleton General Hospital's main entrance. That happened sometime after 7 a.m. Now, News 13 learned that Ustinovsky was actually taken to the hospital around 3 a.m. Monday morning for unknown reasons. And while police have not said if he escaped from the hospital or if he was discharged, one thing is for sure. The minute Ustinovsky exited the building, he went on a rampage until he was caught. The Hazleton City Fire Department was called all around the city Monday morning, putting out fire after fire, and their first stop was just before 8 a.m. The fire department arrived at KFC along Broad Street, where Ustinovsky had lit a sign on fire and smashed a window. The fire department then stopped at the hospital to check on the vending machines that he had ignited earlier. Once they had cleared those incidents, the fire department was immediately led to Locust and Mine Streets in the city, where the Grand Central Plaza sign was engulfed in flames. From there, several firefighters made their way to the area behind Yanuzzi Incorporated, where a tarp had been set on fire, while other firefighters, including Deputy Chief Brian Mandak, responded to a tire fire in the Save-A-Lot parking lot. Deputy Chief Mandak says by this time, the fire department knew that the fires were being intentionally set.
As we got up there, we were advised that there was a possible gentleman walking into the borough of West Hazleton. We in turn contacted their police department. As we continued searching around the Save-A-Lot parking lot, myself, HPD officers, and also West Hazleton Police Department came upon a gentleman that came up out of the woods. And right below where he came out of the woods, we had another tire fire burning. We extinguished that. The gentleman was taken into custody by HPD and is right now being questioned and interviewed by Hazleton Police Department detectives and also the State Police Fire Marshal from the Pennsylvania State Police.
Now, Chief Leschko adds that all of the fires had the potential of being disastrous. Thankfully, the flames were stopped quickly. The Hazleton City Fire Department continues to work with Hazleton City Police tonight and the Pennsylvania State Fire Marshal to determine Ustinovsky's motive in lighting the fires. We know he was using lighters to set the fires and that the Grand Central sign fire was actually ignited with a separate plastic sign and a lighter. A man whose listed address is 145 West Broad Street in Hazleton, the address of Hazleton's halfway house Minsek, is accused of stabbing a man to death in Lackawanna County Sunday night. But Minsek officials say he is not a resident there and hasn't been since 2011. This is 37-year-old Joseph Cedino. Police say he was involved in a fight Sunday night in Carbondale, Lackawanna County, and pulled a knife on 28-year-old Dennis Doherty, who died of multiple stab wounds. After the knifing, police say Cedino stole alcohol from Doherty. Police found Cedino at his mother's house in Carbondale, and they also found the alleged weapon washed off in the sink. We're told he attempted to get rid of the evidence at the mother's house and that his mother actually told police that her son admitted to just killing someone. As for his connection to Hazleton and to Minsek, Cedino was a resident at Minsek for about 4 months in early 2011. Cedino then spent the end of 2011 and most of 2012 in jail in Camp Hill. Minsek officials confirm he is not a current resident of Minsek and that the Minsek address is most likely Cedino's last known address. He remains behind bars tonight in the Lackawanna County Prison on a long list of charges, but he has not yet been charged with murder. An autopsy was set to be performed on the victim this morning to determine his exact cause of death. A man and a woman were the victims of a brutal robbery in the city of Hazleton Friday night. It happened as the duo walked along Alter Street near 3rd Street. Police say 2 men, one black, one Hispanic, robbed the 2 victims. The male was punched in the face, knocked to the ground, while the female's money was snatched. The robbers fled south on Alter Street. Police gave News 13 a description of those robbers. The Hispanic male was about 5 feet 7 inches tall, wearing a red hoodie, black pants, and glasses. The black male suspect was about 5 feet 5 inches tall, wearing a gray hoodie with gray and black pants. You're asked to dial 911 right away if you know who the 2 robbers may be. A McAdoo cop was assaulted Friday night by a man who was allegedly driving drunk with his small child in the car. McAdoo officers tell us 35-year-old Alex Benilla of Seibert Street was pulled over Friday night in the borough after he failed to turn on his headlights. Benilla's 6-year-old daughter was in the back seat of the car when he was stopped. Police said in a news release that Benilla displayed signs of intoxication, and after failing field sobriety tests, Benilla then tried to run. Once police got him cuffed, he tried to hit the officer with his head twice and then kicked the officer. Benilla was charged with assault of a law enforcement officer resisting arrest, driving under the influence of alcohol or a controlled substance, endangering the welfare of children, disorderly conduct, failing to have a driver's license, and failing to use his headlights. No word if the police officer himself was injured. However, Benilla asked for medical attention, complaining of injuries. And coming up on News 13, one local school welcomed a visitor who came all the way from the Diocese of Allentown. We'll talk with Bishop Barris next. Plus, it's fair time. The 157th annual Bloomsburg Fair is in full swing all week long. We'll stop by to talk with the fair president on what new additions we can enjoy this time around.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr. and Ron Marchetti.
Well, as we take a look, it's the last week of September. That's hard to believe. Month has come and gone, and as we get ready, we're just about at the halfway mark of the fall sports season for a lot of these teams. And today we've got a full slate of action going on. We'll lead it off with some hockey, field hockey, as a matter of fact. Hazleton area will be taking on Wyoming Valley West up at Spartan Stadium. That should be an interesting one. Lady Cougars have a modest 3-game win streak going. We'll see what happens in this one tonight against West. Now in golf, you got a whole bunch of guys from this area. Hazleton area, Crestwood, MMI, and the rest of the Wyoming Valley Conference. They're up at Fox Hill Country Club, the pre-district tournament going on there up at Fox Hill. Meanwhile, boys soccer, Hazleton area on the road at Myers. MMI takes on Wyoming Sem. And Pocono Mountain travels to take on the Blue Raiders of Tamaqua. Girls soccer, Wyoming Sem is at MMI, North Schuylkill at Blue Mountain. Tamaqua shuttles over to Pottsville. In tennis, Hazleton area and MMI will be swinging it out. Meanwhile, Tamaqua and Pocono Mountain West up in the Poconos. Volleyball, Myers is in town to take on Hazleton area. Monoy is at Tamaqua. Marion travels all the way down to Halifax, and Panther Valley and North Schuylkill will tangle over in Fountain Springs. Water polo, you got Schuylkill League meeting Wyoming Valley Conference, Pottsville, Hazleton area, splashing around right now, as a matter of fact, at the Natatorium at Hazleton Area High School. Let's switch over to the pros, where after going 2 for 4 on Saturday, Russ Kanzler sat out on Sunday. Too bad. Cleveland had a slugfest. They banged out 16 hits, and they pummeled Kansas City 15-4. Today, the Indians will move on. They'll be at U.S. Cellular Field on the south side of Chicago to take on the White Sox, who are reeling a little bit, hanging on to just a 1-game lead in the American League Central. Yankees, meanwhile, open a 3-game set in Minnesota, and the Pirates and the New York Mets, although I think it's over for the Pirates now, as well as, of course, the Mets, who've been out of it for a while. Phils are off, Tampa Bay is off, but one to keep an eye on, the Orioles in a doubleheader against the Toronto Blue Jays. And let's go over to the NFL. If you're an Eagles fan, you don't want to talk too much about yesterday, so let's take a look at the local guy. Nate Eachus and his Kansas City Chiefs went in and stunned New Orleans. The Chiefs get their first win of the year. The Saints, hard to believe, are 0-3. Eachus did play. Saw some action, particularly out of that fullback slot. but he didn't get any touches of the football, but he did have a couple of big blocks yesterday, so we'll keep an eye and let you know what's going on there. Meanwhile, tonight, Green Bay, Seattle, out on the West Coast. That's your Monday night football game. Hey, you know, you might want to start thinking about heating your home this winter. You could do it for less with American Premium Coal Sales. They offer locally mined quality anthracite at a very, very fair price. It's available for pickup or delivery. And you know, if you order 6 tons or more, you'll qualify for a $10 per ton discount. Now, want more information? You got to contact American Premium Coal Sales. There's the number. It's even toll-free if you're outside of the area. And they're there Monday through Friday, 7 to 4. There's their Saturday hours. Boy, can you beat good old-fashioned anthracite coal to heat your home.
Today is Monday, September 24th, the day after this. And welcome to Trivia Treats. 42 years ago tonight, a Monday night tradition was born as the Browns defeated the Jets 31-21 at Municipal Stadium, Cleveland, on national television. It was the first Monday night telecast by ABC, and it soon became a national phenomenon as commentators Don Meredith and Howard Cosell became household names. Keith Jackson was the lead announcer in 1970. He would be replaced by Frank Gifford in 1971. CBS had previously telecast Monday night games once or twice a year since 1964. The NFL wanted to telecast the game each week on Mondays during the regular season and had offered the spot to CBS, but the network turned down the offer because of the rating success of its Monday night lineup featuring Gunsmoke, Mayberry RFD, The Doris Day Show, and The Carol Burnett Show. ABC jumped at the chance to televise the game and would do so each year through 2005. In 2006, ESPN would take over the Monday night package and still have it. 50 years ago yesterday, in 1962, Maury Wills tied and broke Ty Cobb's record for stolen bases in a season by swiping his 96th and 97th for the Dodgers during a 12-2 loss to the Cardinals in St. Louis. Wills will finish the season with 104 steals. Cobb's record of 96 was set in 1915 and thought to be unbreakable. From 1917 through 1961, no individual had more than 63 stolen bases in a season. 40 years ago, in 1972, Oakland Raiders cornerback Jack Tatum set an NFL record, returning a fumbled 104 yards during a 20-14 win over the Packers at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The 104-yard fumble return broke the 98-yard record set by George Halas when he played for the Chicago Bears in 1923. That fumble return would be tied by cornerback Aeneas Williams of the Arizona Cardinals on November 5th in 2000. Now let's close it up and come 10 years closer to 1982. Only 30 years ago, Northwestern ended their 34-game losing streak, the longest in the history of Division 1A college football, by defeating Northern Illinois 31-6 at Evanston, Illinois. Their last win was a 27-22 decision over at Wyoming in early season 1979. From October 18th, 1975 through September 18th, 1982, the Wildcats had a record of 71-1. On October 10th, 1982, Northwestern will end a 38-game losing streak in the Big Ten by downing Minnesota 31-21 at home. The last win over a conference opponent was 21-7 over Illinois on November 19, 1977. On November 6, 1982, Northwestern will end a 45-game streak without a road win by beating Michigan State 28-24 in East Lansing on a touchdown with 27 seconds remaining. Since then, their last win on the road in 1974, the school had 44 losses and a tie in away games. Under a second-year coach, Dennis Green, Northwestern would finish the 1982 season with a record of 3-8-0. Then after that, the Wildcats became quite respectable. Till Friday. Be a good sport. Stay loose.
Congratulations to our very own Ron Marchetti, who was inducted into the Hazleton Area Sports Hall of Fame on Sunday night. A banquet was held in honor of Ronnie and the 15 others inducted into the Hall of Fame class of 2012. It's safe to say Ronnie knows more about every aspect of the sports world than many others in our area. And some highlights of Ronnie's career in sports include playing fast and slow pitch softball for years, managing and coaching many little leagues and school programs. Ronnie is also past president of the Hazleton Quarterback Club and still remains very active with that organization. As many know, Ronnie's also a well-known and respected plumber in the greater Hazleton area and is president of the Hazleton Plumbers Association. Since 1994, Ronnie has been a loved member of the News 13 family, bringing our audience trivia treats and short shots each and every week.
It's an honor to be in, very much honor, and it's very thrilling. And I'm very thankful to all the people that came to see me. I had so many friends coming. My brother came from San Diego, and I have a cousin I didn't see from Trenton or Teleford. I didn't see him for 10 years, so it was very rewarding, and I'm very thankful. I want to thank the committee again for inducting me.
Now, this is not the first recognition for Ronnie in our area. He was Elk of the Year in 2011 and has received many other awards for his contributions to the community and, of course, the local sports world. This year's banquet was the biggest since it started in 2005 with over 500 people there Sunday. Congratulations to Ronnie and to each member of the class of 2012. All right, here are your winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. Daily number 149, Big 4 6420, Quinto 56961, and Treasure Hunt 14 20 21 22 25. Good luck.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy birthday goes out to Tony Craniac. This wish comes with love from your wife Marcel, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and Princess Mitzi. Tonight's Talk of the Town report, the Holy Mission Friary will be holding an icon workshop October 18th through the 21st. No experience is necessary, and participants will create an icon using step-by-step instructions for any skill level. For more information, please call 570-788-1212, extension 402. And one more announcement, Faith Assembly of God Church will be hosting Times of Refreshing services Sunday, October 7th at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and 6 p.m., and 7 p.m. on October 8th and 9th. Also on October 10th, they will be hosting Teen Night with special guest speaker Zach Adams at 7 p.m. For more information, please call 570-459-2410. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Charles Brett Benner of Hazleton. Arrangements will be announced by the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Martha Lynn DeFont of Cunningham. A private memorial service and calling hours will be announced at a later time from the Rosenstock Funeral Home. Joseph S. Polishuk of Fern Glen. Funeral is Thursday at 10 a.m. from the Harmon Funeral Home. Friends may call Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Irene Hammets of Hazleton. Funeral is Wednesday at 9 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. And Carmela LaRocco Williams of Hazleton. Funeral is Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. from the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Don't settle for second best. When dining out, discover Mia's new low-price dinner menu. And remember, there's always plenty of free gated parking behind the Markle Building.
While advances have been made in the prevention and treatment of obesity, more remains to be done. It is estimated that nearly 93 million Americans are affected by obesity, and that number is predicted to climb to 120 million in the next 5 years. There's hardly a family anywhere that hasn't in some way been affected by obesity-related illnesses. The Walk from Obesity combines an enjoyable event with the potential to raise significant sums for fight against obesity. Now, many in the greater Hazleton area hit the ground running and walking Saturday as the fundraiser walk came back to Hazleton once again. It's the 9th year for Greater Hazleton's Walk, which was the very first one in the state and is now one of 4.
There is a lot of research that goes into it, and it's on a continual basis. And as the research is being done, they're always finding reasons as to why there are causes from obesity. And if you do listen to the news, almost every other day there is something in the news about the morbidly obese. And like I said, this is an excellent cause, and just want to thank everyone again for turning out.
Now, all of the money raised Saturday will go towards research for the morbidly obese. For more information on the walk, you can check out walkfromobesity.com. Saturday's walk was hosted by the Northeast Bariatric Center at the Greater Hazelton Hospital. Well, did you know that every 15 seconds an older adult is seen in an emergency department for a fall-related injury? Falls are the leading cause of both fatal and non-fatal injuries for those aged 65 and over. So what better way to welcome in the fall season than to learn how to not fall and let the leaves do that for you. On Saturday, the Hazelton Health and Wellness Center dedicated the first day of the season to older adults with an educational presentation regarding common fall risk factors, such as vision and physical strength deficits. Now, the Fall Awareness Fair was filled with free information and helpful tips to seniors of all ages to keep them out of the emergency rooms and off the floor.
We have vendors here with shoes and proper footwear so that can help prevent falls. We have some students from the University of Misericordia here helping us do some quick screening tests for patients so that if they are having difficulty with their balance, we can identify that and we can make recommendations that they see their physician and maybe have therapy. And we have fitness people here to discuss the benefits of being physically active and exercising on a regular basis and how that reduces the risk of falls.
Now, attendees were also treated to a demonstration of Tai Chi and other exercises specifically designed for older adults to help with balance and fall prevention. An occupational therapist also there to show the vital role vision plays in keeping seniors on their feet. Folks were also invited to bring their assistive devices such as canes and crutches for a free evaluation to ensure that they are in proper working order. It's officially fall, and that means pumpkins, colorful leaves, and crisp, cooler temps. You definitely needed a light jacket as you headed out of the house this morning. Let's check out the conditions on deck for tonight and Tuesday as we start first in Schuylkill County. Mostly clear skies will take us through the night with a low down to 42, and again, it will be a chilly day, but a comfortable day because it's going to be sunny and a high of 68 for your Tuesday. Tonight's creative condition is helping to bring you the Greater Hazelton forecast. This picture sent to us from Livia Sandu from the West Hazelton Elementary Middle School. Livia's forecast shows a sunny day in Hawaii. Here in Hazelton, a much different story. Well, the sun was shining, just much cooler than we would see in Hawaii. Mostly clear skies will dip down to 42. It'll be 66 on your Tuesday with mostly sunny skies. So crisp days, but nice days with the sun shining and blue skies. All right, stay with us on News 13 tonight. We'll take a trip to the Bloomsburg Fair and show you how a local high school student is taking a stand against bullying. Jasmine Brooks is coming your way with those stories plus much more. I'm Kristen Basinski. I'll see you back here tomorrow.
For some, the Bloomsburg Fair is an event looked forward to all year round. Many even count the days to this week in September. After a year with no fair and no fun, the loss is being made up for double. Tonight we begin with News 13's first trip to Columbia County to the 157th Bloomsburg Fair.
From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazelton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Thank you so much for staying with us tonight. I'm Jasmine Brooks. Well, today marks number 3 for the 157th annual Bloomsburg Fair. Hundreds of thousands of fair goers will walk through the gates all week long to enjoy food, entertainment, vendors, livestock, and more. After a devastating disaster hit the fairgrounds hard last year, flooding the entire grounds, the fair is not only back up and running, but fair officials say it's better than ever before. News 13 stopped by the fair over the weekend to check out all it has to offer. This year's fair is dedicated to all the volunteers that helped with the flood recovery. In fact, it took over 1,000 volunteers to clean up the grounds. And despite what some may think, the fair didn't receive money from the federal government. Instead, it took out a $1.4 million loan, in addition to using any extra money available. Fair President Paul Reichert tells us after a tough year, the fair is back and better than ever before, offering a variety of new things to enjoy.
Actually, brand new today. It's the Sky Ride, which has 60 seats on it, and it was set up for 120, but because of some state rule, they had to cut 60 of them off. And we have a Oregon down on Gate 5, which is brand new. Ryhofer has a couple of brand new rides. Of course, there's always new food here at this fairgrounds.
News 13 will be bringing you much more from the 157th Annual Bloomsburg Fair all week long. We'll take a closer look at the fair's rides, entertainment, and of course, food. For those taking a trip today, Monday, September 24th is Red Hat Day. Senior citizens get in free by showing a Medicare card or other proof of age. The Bloomsburg Fair will open its gates all week long at 7 a.m. and close at 9 p.m. A survey done in 2011 by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention indicated that nationwide, 20% of students in grades 9 through 12 experienced bullying. Some of those instances even led to suicide. Bullying includes such actions as making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and excluding someone from a group on purpose. On October 1st, a huge campaign against bullying will kick off in Greater Hazleton, and one high school student is helping to lead the way in taking a stand against bullies. Here's Janine Mazurkevich with more.
Thanks for joining us here. We're at the Hazleton Area High School talking about a very important topic that goes above and beyond bullying. And we have the principal of the high school. We have Mr. Patron with us. Thank you for joining us today. And we also have our student who we're highlighting here on News 13, and that is Logan Alucci, who is a senior. And you did something very special for your senior class project. We're going to talk about it because guess what? It's displayed here in the high school. How do you feel about that?
It's pretty exciting, and I'm really happy that people seem to be liking it.
Okay.
So,
how did you pick this for your class project?
I really don't know exactly why. I kind of just felt like it was the right thing to do. I wanted people to feel happy when they saw it.
Okay.
I don't know.
What is the display case? Because it does mention bullying there. It does talk about diversity here in the school.
It's diversity, equality, anti-bullying. It's all of it kind of wrapped up into one. So.
And do you think bullying is a problem in schools?
I definitely do, even if people don't really see it happening. I think that it's there.
And this is pretty big because it was displayed here in the Hazleton Area High School, and that's something that the school doesn't take lightly, bullying and actually looking at people and not accepting them for their diversity.
Well, first let me tell you how proud I am of Logan, that she created such an exciting graduation project that we can actually display for the entire school and actually for the entire community, because this is not something that's staying up just for this year. This is going to stay up for a long, long time. And when we talked about this last year, what we were going to do and where we were going to display it, after I saw where she was going with this, I definitely wanted it to be the first thing that people saw when they walked into the building. As you can look at this case behind me, you can see that it talks about diversity, it talks about a sense of belonging, it talks about a sense of equality. We're a very diverse high school. There's no question about that. We're a diverse community. Every single student that walks into this building has to have a sense of belonging. They have to believe, I belong to this school belongs to me. No matter what language I speak, no matter what my skin color is, this is my school, this is where I belong, these are my colleagues. If we all think that way, as peers, as colleagues, we are going to get along, and certainly anti-harassment will go right where we need it to be.
You have many programs going on in the month of October, so just to highlight some of those, and just to make parents aware and viewers aware of the importance of bullying.
Well, there's no question we have to take bullying and anti-harassment very, very, very seriously. In October 1st, we're going to do a campaign that's actually going to kick off the fact that we're all going to work together as one, every single adult, every single student. We're going to do everything we can to certainly put a lid on bullying in school and even outside of school. Sure, it's led to people hurting themselves. It's led to people feeling very, very left out. We need to stop doing that. Hopefully, by looking at Logan's display, we'll all feel like we are one. And we are on the same boat, and we all at times feel like we need a friend, we need someone to talk to, and we certainly shouldn't turn to someone and bully them, harass them, just because they may look a little bit differently.
And again, we're highlighting students in the Hazleton Area School District. Don't forget about the bullying programs that are going on throughout the month of October, and you could tune in to News 13 here to find out about all the information going on. There is a big surprise going on. I know about some of them, and really, you really have to see it to believe it. For now, we'll go back to you in the studio.
7 fires, 5 locations, all in just 1 hour. A West Hazleton man faces some serious charges after going on an arson spree around the city Monday morning. Police say 49-year-old Lawrence Ustinovsky purposely set multiple fires throughout the city of Hazleton and is now facing arson charges. The first fire was started in a vending machine right outside of the Hazleton General Hospital's main entrance sometime after 7 this morning. Now, News 13 learned that Ustinovsky was actually taken to the hospital around 3 a.m. Monday morning for unknown reasons. And while police have not said if he escaped from the hospital or if he was discharged, one thing is for sure: the minute Ustinovsky exited the building, he went on a rampage until he was caught. The Hazleton City Fire Department was called all around the city Monday morning, putting out fire after fire, with their first stop just before 8 a.m. The fire department arrived at KFC along Broad Street, where Ustinovsky had lit a sign on fire and smashed a glass window. The fire department then stopped at the hospital to check on the vending machines that he had ignited earlier. Once they had cleared those incidents, the fire department was immediately led to Locust and Mine Streets in the city, where the Grand Central Plaza sign was engulfed in flames. From there, several firefighters made their way to the area behind Yanuzi Incorporated, where a tarp had been set fire, while other firefighters, including Chief Donald Leshko, responded to a tire fire in the Save-A-Lot parking lot. Now, Chief Leshko says by this time the fire department knew these fires were being intentionally set.
As we got up there, we were advised that there was a possible gentleman walking into the borough of West Hazleton. We in turn contacted their police department. As we continued searching around the Save-A-Lot parking lot, myself, HPD officers, and also West Hazleton Police Department came upon a gentleman that came up out of the woods. And right below where he came out of the woods, we had another tire fire burning. We extinguished that. The gentleman was taken into custody by HPD and is right now being questioned and interviewed by Hazleton Police Department detectives and also the State Police Fire Marshal from the Pennsylvania State Police.
Chief Leshko adds that all these fires had the potential of being disastrous. Thankfully, the flames were stopped quickly. Now, the Hazleton City Fire Department continues to work with the Hazleton City Police Department and the PA State Police Fire Marshal to determine Ustinovsky's motive. We know he was using lighters to set the fires and that the Grand Central sign fire was actually ignited with a separate plastic sign and a lighter. Over the weekend, we welcomed a new season, fall of course, and with autumn leaves comes cooler temperatures. But before you turn up that heat inside your home, you should know that heating is the second leading cause of all residential building fires. This is the result of a temporary heater you can find at any local hardware store overheating and catching fire. The Hazleton City Fire Department teamed up with the Fire Marshal's office to reconstruct this dangerous situation that could happen if you are not careful. Hazleton's Deputy Fire Chief Brian Mandek says now that the fall season is in full swing, homeowners should change the batteries in their smoke detectors. This is the time of the year when people start to get creative, and creativity can be dangerous.
This year, with fuel, everybody knows the cost of fuel oil. And usually people are strapped with a budget and the economy and everything else. And people get creative. They start putting wood burners in. Last year we had somebody burning tires in a coal stove. We've had electric heaters that people try to heat their whole house on a temporary electric heater. The heaters overheat. It bypasses the thermocoupler and they ignite and light on fire. Just when you think you've seen it all, we get something different. We had a homemade 55-gallon drum oil burner last year.
Chief Mandek also suggests you only use approved equipment and have all heating equipment serviced. Also, make sure your chimneys are in good repair. Mandek realizes having your heating equipment serviced is an expense, but says the few dollars spent now could save your life later. Well, a complete look at your forecast for the first full week of fall is on the way. Plus, we'll stop by Marian Catholic High School in Tamaqua, where the celebrating started on Friday before the football game. A man whose listed address is 145 West Broad Street in Hazleton, the address of Hazleton's halfway house, Minsek, is accused of stabbing a man to death in Lackawanna County Sunday night. But Minsek officials say he's not a resident and hasn't been since 2011. This is 37-year-old Joseph Cedino. Police say he was involved in a fight Sunday night in Carbondale and pulled a knife on 28-year-old Dennis Doherty, who died of multiple stab wounds. After the knifing, police say Cedino stole alcohol from Doherty. Police found Cedino at his mother's house in Carbondale, and they also found the alleged weapon washed off in the sink. He attempted to get rid of the evidence there, and his mother told police that her son admitted to just killing someone. As for his connection to Hazleton and Minsek, Cedino was a resident at Minsek for about 4 months in early 2011. Cedino then spent the end of 2011 and most of 2012 behind bars in Camp Hill. Minsek officials confirm he is not a current resident of Minsek and that the Minsek address is most likely Cedino's last known address. He remains behind bars tonight in the Lackawanna County Prison on a long list of charges, but has not yet been charged with murder. An autopsy was sent to be performed on the victim this morning to determine his exact cause of death. State police were able to track down 2 thieves who stole a Hazel Township woman's credit card last week and racked up over $1,000 in purchases. 33-year-old Ryan Petrosky and 27-year-old Jessica Foose, both of Hazel Township, swiped Amy Balakonis' American Express card. The two took the card from the victim's purse and went shopping. Now, after a brief investigation, troopers were able to arrest the two very quickly. They were expected to be in court and answer to charges against them. A man and woman were the victims of a brutal robbery in the city of Hazleton on Friday night. It happened as the duo walked along Alter Street near 3rd Street. Police say 2 men, one black and one Hispanic, robbed the 2 victims. The male was punched in the face, knocking him to the ground, while the female's money was snatched. The robbers fled south on Alter Street. Police gave News 13 a description of the robbers. The Hispanic male, about 5 feet 7 inches tall, wearing a red hoodie, black pants, and glasses. The black male suspect was about 5 feet 5 inches tall, wearing a gray hoodie with gray and black pants. You are asked to dial 911 right away if you know the 2 robbers and who they may be. More news headed your way next here on News 13. Freddie B is on deck with tonight's sports. And later, we'll head to Schuylkill County, where the bishop was in town to bless a brand new addition at one local school. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, it took 1 year to plan and 3 more months to construct. Just in time for football season, a brand new plaza outside of one local football stadium is finally being enjoyed by students, family, and alumni. News 13 stopping by Marian Catholic High School Friday evening to check out their newly built Legacy Plaza. This nearly 4,000 square foot plaza features a 10-foot high bronze horse and 2 statues, brick arches, linking the plaza with the Men of Marian football stadium. The school is coeducational secondary school of the Diocese of Allentown, and so Bishop John Barris made a special stop to bless the new Legacy Plaza. He tells me how excited he was on this day.
Jasmine, I'm here for the dedication of this plaza, which, as you can see behind me, this wonderful cult is very majestic, and I think it symbolizes just the great spirit of the Marian community. It's a community that encompasses many generations.
This place where we're standing now used to be all cinders, and it was difficult for the older people to walk up the incline to get into the stadium, and so we had decided that maybe if we could raise the money to put pavers down, it would be helpful to them. So, but it took us 2 years and we didn't have enough to do it. So this family thought maybe if they did it and people saw how nice it looked, they would be more inclined to purchase a paver in memory of somebody in their families.
Well, it was important to us just to give back. It was our commitment to Marian. The same commitment that our students and our faculty show every day. We have faculty who are here 30 and 40 years. They've taught my husband and I, they've taught my children, and they're still here. But really it was just to show our commitment to the school and also an appreciation for the parents.
The Legacy Plaza is dedicated to 2 lifelong supporters of Catholic school education, Teresa Svets of Hometown and the late Joseph Svets. It was planned and funded by their 7 children who are all alumni of the school. Now, alumni friends and business and community supporters can leave a permanent impression here by purchasing a paver. All profits from the Legacy Paver project will go directly to Marion High School. If you would like to purchase an inscribed Legacy Paver, call the Alumni and Development Office. That number 582-0021. Well, some were a little chilly while watching the Marion Colts dominate on the football field Friday night. And with the fall season officially in full swing, pumpkins, colorful leaves, and crisp, cooler temps will be part of our days. You definitely need a light jacket as you headed out this morning. How long will it go tonight in Schuylkill County? Let's start first. We're going to see mostly clear skies with a light wind, low down to 42 for our Tuesday. Sunny skies, a high near 68 and a low down to 51. Wednesday, a chance of showers moving in with thunderstorms also possible. A high near 70, and on Wednesday night, scattered showers, your low down to 49 degrees. Thursday, mostly sunny skies, a high near 66. At night, partly cloudy with a low of 47. And for your TGIF, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 66. Chance of showers at nighttime for your Friday with a low of 50 degrees. Tonight's creative condition is coming to you by Olivia Sandu from the West Hazleton Elementary Middle School. Olivia's forecast shows a sunny day in Hawaii. Now here in Greater Hazleton, a much different story. We're going to see tonight mostly clear skies with a low down to 42 degrees. Checking out that 4-day outlook, it goes like this. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 66 degrees. At night, a chance of showers with a low of 50 degrees. Wednesday, another chance of showers. Your high will hit 67 and your low 47. Thursday, simple, sunny with a high of 64 and a low of 45. And for your TGIF in Greater Hazleton, partly sunny skies with a low of 50 degrees and a high of 63. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. You can catch this newscast again with a rebroadcast throughout tonight or go to our website. That's SSPTV.com. There you will find everything Greater Hazleton, Schuylkill County, and beyond, just one simple click away. On behalf of your News 13 team, be safe, and we will see you on Tuesday. Good night.